Hello and welcome back to a not so riveting episode of Infamous MCP. This is Brandon or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Josh, go by Grimmelzog on Discord.
So this is probably going to be a shorter episode for us today. We'll just see how it goes. We don't have a lot of content today. We're going to try and keep to our one a week structure that we've had for the last, checks notes, 265 weeks. Fuck, that's a long time.
I was like, that's 4 years and some change, yeah.
Yeah, it's 52, it's a lot of weeks. That is 5.07 years.
That's
nice.
Pretty good.
We did it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, my favorite podcast, I'm lucky to get 2 episodes a year. So, I'll take it.
What's your favorite podcast?
There's a podcast called Hardcore History by Dan Carlin, and it's brilliant because he is a history nerd, but not a historian. And then he had a background in broadcasting journalism, so he knows how to really tell a story and set up all the facts. And it's very good. So
cool. All right then. Diving into it today, as usual, we'll do hobby projects first. Are you working on anything, sir?
I'm trying to get way better about painting, and so I am finishing up my Old World Goblin model so that I can have the scheme down. Then I'm going to paint one Trench Crusade model, and then I am desperately running out of time, but I have a very lazy goal of I paint one team a year, and I need to finish an MCP team this year. So we're probably going to knock out Asgard, just so that they are primed and ready for whenever that new Asgard box drops. So
you said Asgard? I heard Outguard.
Outguard.
What's Outguard?
No, Asgard.
Is this like what's up, dog?
I got you. Got him, dude.
Got it. Damn it. All right. I don't know what that is, but okay. Moving on. Currently playing. I'm still playing my Hydra list. I think the list is fun and sound. It suffers from the big problem of almost everything I enjoy in this game, which is it is not specifically abusing a win con, so it's basically unplayable trash. But I enjoy it. So
yes, I'm still playing Winterguard, and it's a little bit, admittedly, of Winterguard with Malekith running smush, but I have been playing a lot of games without Malekith. Been trying to do other stuff. And I will say over time, I have grown to appreciate them. Winterguard is not good, but they are very consistent. They are doing the things I need them to do 9 times out of 10. And a lot of times that helps me wrap up victory. So
when they first came out, I think a lot of people thought they were a bad affiliation propped up by one character. And I think that's false, because I think they're propped up by several good characters.
I agree.
And now that their affiliation's been a little bit widened, they're not quite as restricted. I think they definitely are more real than they were in the past. But that has also been tampered a bit by the fact that they have nerfed their one really good character by changing the deployment shapes. Crimson Dynamo is still an amazing character. He's just less able to utilize his power. But yeah, Crimson Dynamo has been... Not Crimson Dynamo. Red Guardian has been widely underappreciated the entire time he's been in the game. That is a plus 3-point model.
He is he's a little squishy, but he's crazy good, and it's only because you've got the shield
your 3-point model with automatic board position abilities are
automatic push,
just a little squishy,
automatic push and automatic throw.
Yeah.
And then, for some reason, I have Ornery where I'm getting extra power if I don't die. I don't really have a way to spend that power, but by God, it builds up.
Well, it just means he basically has martial artist, right? You have blanks all the time, and which is great, right? It's almost never is he actually squishy. He's just, not tough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I will say that that mileage goes a little farther with good positioning if you keep him within range of Crimson Dynamo being able to make them reroll dice. And there's a great many times where he squeaks through and he takes 1 damage and I gain 2 power. I'm like, cool. Well, now I have enough to Siberian Shield Slam and I'm going to throw you.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that list is. I think people will underestimate Winter Guard for that. I do think the removing conditions is good. It's obviously much better in games where conditions are going to be very relevant.
Yes.
But I think the leadership is not ideal, right? Like it's there's certainly subpar. But that doesn't mean it's terrible. It's just subpar.
It's not terrible, but it's not great. And you've
Mm.
heard me yell about it quite a bit where I'm like, why the fuck am I rolling a sub 50% activation leadership to see if I'm not pushed? And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, if it was like push, throw, place, and you're giving me a 38 or something percent chance, that's not bad. That would be a really good leadership, and I'd have to work for it. But this is like
It could have
cool.
just been something that isn't completely unreliable. Like it could just be like Winter Guard affiliated characters gain mind shielding, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
spend 2, don't get pushed. Like
Yes.
it could have been something that both players have a known quantity. It could have been like more value and said like the number of times that you've seen it be like I've never seen it actually relevantly change a game. Like it's been annoying a few
Yeah.
times that I've seen, but it's never been like a big deal. And I get that it's like a freebie throw in, but I don't like freebie throw ins that are like really situationally dependent and like potentially game altering on like high dice rolls. Like the game's like we've talked about this a million times. Game's random enough. We don't need more random.
Yeah.
Like give shit a known quantity.
I think in like I'm probably sitting pretty close to like 30 games with Winter Guard now. The leadership has won me one game, and it was because like we're down to the wire. He does the one attack to push me off. I roll. Nothing happens. Like I block it, so I don't get pushed, and I beat him by like 1.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, it's like I push you, and I'm like,
Or
I have
29 out of 30 even.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, I'll roll the dice. It's part of the leadership. Like I might as well. But
There's also the number of times you just end up forgetting that it's a thing because it so rarely matters.
Yeah, I'll never forget. Like, lose a condition for free, absolutely. But the anti push, I'm just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So,
so we had a tournament this weekend. We didn't get a lot of attendance.
No.
Admittedly, it was kind of a bad weekend. It's LVO weekend. We had I think a couple locals go to that. We also had the Blood Bowl Euro Cup, which Aaron went to as well.
Yes.
MCP's obviously kind of been on a downswing for popularity in our area lately. So with certain people not showing up, that kind of made other people not want to go, and then also just like ended up being a busy weekend for everybody.
Yeah.
So we only had 3 people. It was myself, CJ, and Josh. How was your game against CJ?
I turn 2, him and I positioned, and then turn 2 I had priority. I one-shot Ghost Rider with a Malekith attack, and then I one-shot Punisher with another Malekith attack, and then proceeded to wrap up the game. Because I just was like, cool, now I have all of the points. Malekith is sitting on full power because of the amount of damage I did. And it was one of those things where like I rolled like a hit, 2 crits, but then I rolled 2 skulls with power. It's like, cool, so I rolled 4 crits. I'm gonna pop those off. Converted 3 of them. Like I did 7 damage. He's like, well, I blocked 1. I'm like, well, they're dazed now, so congratulations. But other than that, like it was a fine game. I don't remember what he was playing. Defenders, Daredevil Defenders. So, yeah, just kind of Malekith smashed, wrapped it up.
So, do you think Malekith in Winter Guard has any particular value other than just the leadership makes him practically immune to conditions?
So
he's already fairly resistant to most conditions.
Yes, and I will admit I'm willing. This isn't like a hill I'm willing to die on, but Winter Guard does not really have any hard hitters. They have a lot of very reliable pieces, but they
like
don't.
Hellfire. You don't have the ability to just kill someone, but you do have the ability to win over time.
Yes, they don't have anyone that can just walk up and punch you in the face.
Yeah,
now,
that's fair.
They also have a core of 9 threat, because you can go Crimson Dynamo, Red Guardian, Widow 1. So it's very cheap to just be Winter Guard affiliated. So with that, you can start playing Malekith at 16 threat very easily. Because 4 plus 3 plus 2 would be 9, right? And then
Yeah.
7
I don't know that that's low. I think that's average. I think the vast majority of teams can get affiliated for 9 or less.
I'm used to
8 is the low end. Yeah. Some can do 7.
I'm used to Asgard, and like 11 is my lowest level that I can get to threat value. So with playing a leadership, because all my leaders are 5s, 2 3s. Yeah. So I like him there because he's a big smushy model. He's basically immune to stagger, immune to incinerate. He's already immune to hex. So he just gives me something that can be pushed around, and I'm sure you'll remember this term, but distraction Carnifex. Did you ever learn that term in 40k?
I do know it. I don't think it's applicable here, but
so
I see what you mean.
I find a lot of people either try to focus fire him or completely ignore him, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gives me time to get my other models in really good positions. And
no, I don't think it's wrong. I think that the term I would use is complementary packages.
Yeah.
And so what Winterguard does really well is take and hold ground. They do it slowly, but they very rarely lose a battle in their space because of their combination of effects. And that part of this because they're completely selling out on doing that, right? They're a potato list. Like, we're going to potato so hard in this potato field that you can't potato here.
Yes.
And so it's like, yeah, you win, but like, what else do you do? And Malekith being your go get 'em, like, make plays piece can do that, right? Like, that's one thing he does do really well. I would just argue that any package that complements him in that way would be as good, if not better.
I mean, I would agree. Like, I could,
if you enjoy Winterguard
or something like,
if you enjoy that package, like, you could do the same thing in Criminals. Like, I want to have Criminals with my one active piece, and it's like that strategy just works. It's kind of like the hammer and anvil list that 40k players would use a lot. You take like your big squad of Plague Marines, you jam them in the middle, and it's like a fulcrum that their whole enemy list has to revolve around, and that's like your Winterguard package. And then you have, super fast chaos chosen bikers on the flank that just come in and clean everything up because nobody can focus them because they're busy dealing with the meaty middle.
Yeah.
And so that's a strategy in a lot of war games. Like, it works, right? It's like you engage the enemy to where they can't be flexible, and then you just hit them in the flank.
Yes.
So it definitely works.
And I will say, I think I probably said it on the podcast before, I like Malekith. I didn't play him when he was super busted. I've only played him at this current iteration, and it is very much a bully piece. So
he's very fun.
He's very fun. If you're size 3 or below, I'm probably going to mulch you. If I run into another size 4, Malekith's probably getting picked up off the table. He does not win those fights, and you don't really want him fighting those people. I generally try to use them to pick off the leader, pick off people holding objectives. So very scalpely.
I wonder if the meta has changed enough to just make Malekith in general viable and just no one's trying it because he's so widely considered unanimous trash.
Yeah. And another little list tidbits is Winterguard generates power really well because almost no one has a gainer is you gain power per damage.
Gain 1, yeah.
You gain 1.
1.
Okay.
Gainer is 1, builder is equal.
That's right, okay. Gainer, they pretty much all have gainers. So you are pretty consistently getting power every turn, and I have found that fuels tactic cards really well. So, Crimson Dynamo moving up around, making people reroll dice. He's probably not doing that much damage, but I don't really need him to. And then just always having the option to battery up and go play patch up on Malekith. Because Malekith is pretty hard to dig through. Outside of big attacks, like 4s across the board, exploding skulls.
Non-elite characters aren't really going to punch him down.
And so just having that option of consistent power to go do the things you want to do is nice.
Okay. So moving on to our game, we played a game after you played CJ, and things went very poorly for me. I played Hydra. I threw in Spider-Woman for the first time. I wanted to get a rep with her so I could see how she felt. We played a pretty midline mission, if I recall. It was God, was it Hammers? It was Hammers, wasn't it?
We did play Hammers, yes.
It was Hammers. And I kind of wanted to try Hammers too.
I haven't got to play
the
Hammers
other mission
so
we played.
long.
I'm drawing a blank.
Was it Mcron? Because it was Mcron because you were trying to overflip.
Yeah. So I played Vlad or Dracula, Zola, Strucker, Spider-Woman, and I want to say I had one other person. And Omega Red.
Yeah.
So turn 1, I move up Spider-Woman kind of into a daring position, expecting her to get attacked. You went into her with Malekith, left her on 1. She activated first the next turn, stole your objective, moved away. Which is a mechanic that my list didn't have without her, and I never really considered her as a objective piece because I'm not really trying to win on scenario. But it did create an interesting situation where I could basically put her into a spot, and like her goal is to kind of just fight, but then if the opportunity arises, she can steal and she can interrogate, which can help me in the intermediate turns. But then I just like lost every combat, so it didn't really matter. I think I dealt 1 damage to your whole team.
Pretty close. You had some rough
Dracula
dice rolls.
attacked a couple times. Omega Red attacked a couple times. Strucker attacked once, I think.
Yeah.
Zola did an empowered attack. I just everything was just bouncing off. I just couldn't do anything. But I kind of like the floor, like the footprint of the list. But yeah, the fact that it did so poorly, I'm trying to ignore because I think the list had abilities. But yeah, it just fell on its face really hard.
I think it just it was a bit of a skew game in that like you had bad dice rolls and I just got all the dice that I ever wanted.
Yeah, like all of your 5 dice attacks were doing 3 on every attack.
Every
I was doing
time.
like 7 die attacks that were doing 0.
Yeah.
Which is again like I'm trying to ignore that, but like I just got so behind so fast there's really no getting out of it.
Yeah. But it did. I do remember it being. I didn't really think through my moves with that list.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a lot of like Dracula could have mulched because I think he was up against like Taskmaster and
Red Guardian. Yeah.
So he would have just mulched them.
Should have just mulched.
He should have just mulched them. But I kept
staring at them doing nothing.
I kept just punching you away automatically with Red Guardian. I was like, okay, have fun.
I don't think that mattered at all.
So
the fact that I couldn't do anything to you while you were melting my whole team was the problem.
Yeah.
Like I was going to get tabled on turn 3 at that rate. The fact that you were pushing me away is only keeping me alive. But yeah, bad games happen.
But I do like the Hydra list you're working on. I think it's got legs.
So that's the thing is I'm thinking about putting it on the shelf and moving to something else.
Something new.
There's kind of like 2 more lists I want to play, and it's like the last thing on my docket. I want to go back to Cabal and try it with Malekith back in it. Because we were talking about that while we were building it. We just kept saying no because he's so bad. But I think in the current meta, he's not terrible. But also, it's just my favorite leadership they've ever put in the game. It's so fun to play with.
I've actually never played that leadership.
Yeah. And then the other one is I want to go back to Convo one more time, which is why CJ's painting my wizard stuff.
Hell yeah, brother.
But yeah, after that, I don't know what I'll do. I'll have to think about it a lot if I want to play anything else. I guess we'll go into the next segment now. I'll talk about a little bit of news.
Hey, news!
We had a spoiler for the first time in a while. Just a random one-off spoiler. So a card got released called Protege. It is unaffiliated active action. During Silk's activation, if an allied black cat is on the battlefield, Silk may spend 3 to play this card. Basically, she uses burglary. Choose an enemy within range 1 of Silk, move 1 asset or civilian token from that character onto Silk. She is now holding the token and may not have more tokens than the crisis allows. Okay. It is worse than having it printed on your card. Obviously, it takes up a tactic slot, and it requires you to have a second character, which any person with brain activity would already have in their list, but it is technically a restriction. What are your thoughts on this?
I think this is a very large misstep because I would like us to move away from steals. I understand the mechanic of why they exist in the game, but I am also a very big fan of... I might catch flack for this, but I want to interact with my opponent, like
in ways other than taking the scoring objectives off of their cards and putting them on my cards without them having any ability to interact with it.
Or something, because you just going, congrats, I took it, goodbye, is really boring, bad game design. There needs to be something there. Because it is a problem, and we don't see it very much anymore, but it is easily abusable. It really feels bad, and I don't like that it exists on multiple people, you know? Because some people, at least, it's not necessarily a steal. They do technically drop it, and then they can pick it up. But if you're doing that ability, you're already probably going to have the power to pick it up anyway. So it's the same. It's just not technically the same. So I'm not a fan. I also don't like that it is a unaffiliated, because I believe both of them are web warriors, both of them are criminals, and instead they were just like, hey man, what if you got 2 steals? Because I think Silk is a 3 threat. Let me see.
4.
She's a 4 threat.
Yeah.
So that does change it a little bit, because it's like, okay, 7 threat to gain 2 steals. One of them is only singular, unaffiliated. That's not great.
Currently, Silk is only in webs, to my knowledge.
Oh, she's only in webs?
Yeah. I don't know that really matters, because I think Black Cat and Silk are both splashable models.
I'm thinking of Echo. That's who I'm thinking of.
Probably.
That's in Crimson.
I think I agree with pretty much everything you're saying there. I have another take I'd like to throw at you and see what you think. You didn't play the game when field dressing was in the game.
Correct.
Or when MedPack was in. Were you in after MedPack as well?
So we started playing like the week after those got banned.
Okay. So, MedPack is kind of whatever. Everyone played it. It was a ubiquitous card that in every roster, basically. It was extremely rare. But the reason it was played everywhere is because it was so easy to play. It only cost 2 power. It was range 3. Anyone could play it. And so you could just patch up or MedPack anywhere. It was so easy to play. Range 3 to any other character was like so fast. So that's why it got played. Field dressing was the question mark. Back in the day when it was kill each other was the mission, basically. It was so insurmountable to deal with field dressing, because you would have characters like Thanos, like Magneto, like Carnage would just jam themselves into the middle of the table and kill as much as they possibly could, giving up prio. Your opponent would then go, and your only option is to kill their murder machine, right?
Yeah.
So you kill them, then they immediately play field dressing and activate said character. And so you have no recourse. There's nothing you can do to stop them. You just have to watch it happen. And so the only weapon against such a powerful tool is to play field dressing yourself and punch right back into them. Yeah. And that was all that happened. And you just basically, we saw the meta devolve into these super tall, like skyscraper lists where it's like, I have 2 7+ point characters and then whatever else I need to fill points. And you have the same thing, and we're just race car, train wrecking into each other.
Yeah.
And it's basically whoever plays field dressing first loses, because the other person will field dressing back and then kill the rest of their team. And so it just devolves into delaying the situation when both people have to adopt that strategy.
Yeah.
And that is also true in stealing. If you were playing because everything that we see, like the devs want us to do, is we want you guys to play 5 wide. We want you to play at 17 points. We want you to play 8 to 9 threat scoring on every mission, and we want the game to end on turn 4. That's what they want you to do. Everything that they're doing is trying to squeeze us into a tighter hole until that's what ends up being the meta.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to that point, steals are incredibly powerful. If that's the format the meta is going to take, steals are incredibly powerful. The best way to fight steals is to play steals.
Yeah.
And so if we're just going to devolve the game into the majority of characters, or literally every character that gets played in a meta is either a leader, so must be fielded, or is a stealer or a board controller, what are we doing? Like, how is that an interesting game where it's like, well, I have priority, so I'm going to activate first. You activate a model, move one of their models off the objective, or steal an objective from them. Their turn, they do the same thing. And you just take turns doing that until the round is over, and you both score an amount of points that's basically irrelevant. And then you just wait for a disadvantaged or advantaged dice spike to happen for either player that will decide the outcome of the game.
Yep.
It's like, that's not interesting to me at all. Like, well, I'm going to move up and webline your guy who's activated. Well, I'm going to move up and webline your guy that's activated. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is not what I signed up for. I know that probably sounds bitchy, but like, it's not fun. And I don't know who's having fun doing that, because everyone I talk to says they don't like it.
I completely agree. I mean, like I said, there's no interactivity to it. It just happens. It's consistent. You can script it. It's everything that should not exist in as many spots as it does. Because it's very strange to me. Now, not all characters are created equal. If every character was created equal, it'd be a boring game. But there's a lot of characters I like where it's like, cool, I need 2 or 3 triggers to do something. It's not that good. It's like stagger, right? Or I guess there's a couple people out there that activate. But you need multiple triggers in order, like astronomical triggers, to get this thing.
Yeah. The easiest one in the game is Doctor Strange, who still needs 3 results, but he can reroll it.
Yeah, but then it's like, cool, you're giving these people the ability to just do a thing. And that thing is arguably, in the context of winning a game, more powerful than my triple trigger things I'm trying to do. Because points matter. We're like, if you never throw an attack all game and you just score points, you can still win. I've seen it.
Let's just look at Spider-Woman real quick. Her spender has an automatic trigger on it that is almost the equivalent of Supergiant Spender. Let's look at Supergiant Spender.
Yeah.
Because if I just swap this, I want to guarantee you drop your objective. I don't care about actually killing you. I just want you to drop your objective. Mm-hmm. So Supergiant has to roll crit, wild, hit, skull, skull. Spider-Woman has to declare the attack. Like, that's the difference of difficulty we're talking about. And Spider-Woman isn't even considered good in this example. Like, it's just so crazy.
It's just, there needs to be more to it than just, I do it and I get it and then I go away. Because it's that game warpingly powerful of an ability. And
everyone who plays a scenario team is just hoping that your opponent rolls bad enough for long enough that they just win the game automatically. Like, there is a 55% chance my opponent will just not roll enough hits in the first 2 turns to even achieve a chance of beating me. Mm-hmm. And so the only way they can really compete is by playing the same strategy I am and playing better than me. Like, so the entire game is just play scenario game as hard as you possibly can. And so why did you print the other 160 models in the game? Like, why bother? Like, if you just want us to play this one strategy, why is everything else here? I find it incredibly frustrating.
Now, I will say, and I feel like I've talked with this with the Harvesters before, but it very much feels like they are not pushing it to be a competitive game. It is you show up with the stuff you like and you throw dice and you do things. And I understand that. I disagree with it. But I do understand that design philosophy.
Hold on.
The problem with that is when you make shit that warps everything else around it, I can't just show up with what I like to play and roll dice and have fun.
Right. I agree with your point there. But when you say you disagree, are you disagreeing with that philosophy, or are you disagreeing that's what they're doing?
No, I disagree with the philosophy of not
Okay.
trying to make it a competitive game. I don't want to play
think
Sweat
that's
Lord
what they're
game,
trying to do.
but I like to challenge myself and compete, and I like having the tools to do that. And when it feels like I've got a pillow wrapped around my fist and my opponent has iron, like brass knuckles, it's like, okay, I'll try because I enjoy a challenge, but it's not fun. It's not good.
I would like to move this into the next step of this conversation. Okay. So I don't actually think this individual card is that strong. I think it's another tool that they have, which just increases the flexibility their list might have. Because we've already got, just in webs, we've got Miles, Spider-Woman, Silk now, obviously Black Cat, and I think those are the big four. There's you're saying 6? There's 2 more?
I have a different point, but so I was just saying, I was going to say, currently in webs, you could do Miles, Black Cat, Spider-Woman, now Silk, and then Spider-Ham. That's 5 characters at 16. 4 of those have steals.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, no, the quantity they can put in a list is like a redundant level, right? Like they were already like dropping Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman used to be incredibly meta relevant, but now that all the other martial artists are out, she's kind of fallen to the wayside.
Yeah.
But kind of my thought process here is looking at the game's design perspective, because a lot of people have heard, or we've talked about, or there's been rumors like the devs don't want it to be a super competitive, crunchy game. Well, if we're just going to take that as true, what sense does it make to continue releasing these really strong mechanics that kind of circumvent playing the game? Because like what you just said, is like they just want people to roll dice and have fun. That's the opposite of these things they keep creating, right? That's just not true in my mind. Then we go look at the fact that they have repeatedly gone through and made meta adjustments, active changes to characters in the game. And you can look at the lists and see everything that's been downgraded in the game. It is almost exclusively fighting models that want to roll dice and have fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, and some of them have been nerfed for some reasons that aren't just their damage output. And to be fair, like some of them justifiably were. Obviously, CGR and a couple other models obviously need to be brought down a peg. But when we're like seeing them nerf like just random ass models, it's like Ultron. It's like, why was Ultron really destroying the meta? I don't remember that. Like we sat through 6 to 10 months of CGR oppression before they touched it. Meanwhile, other models immediately nerfed for no reason. Like no justification given at all.
So a little closer to home, I love Asgard. It's my favorite thing to play. Love the models. Love everything about it. I got to play 1 tournament, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Of the Researcher Brothers in Arms,
list, right?
The
hero list. Yeah.
The hero list.
And I get that list was extremely oppressive on 1 mission.
On 1 mission. Okay, but then you nerfed Thor 2. And I honestly wasn't even playing him that much already. And now he hasn't seen the table since then. And then
I don't think he ever will. Yeah, he got completely dumpstered.
Completely neutered. And then you go, Brothers in Arms is too good. It has to go away. And then I have just had to continuously look at something like All Webbed Up, which is twice as good as Brothers in Arms. Brothers in Arms had counterplay. I cannot counterplay to All Webbed Up, right? There was ways to get Bill or Thor 2 away from each other, and then the card falls apart. It was literally
cards like Smash getting nerfed.
Yeah.
Like, how is Smash nerfed, but cards like Protégé are still being printed? Like, you're telling me that one of these cards is more impactful, and it's Smash? Really? Like, I don't know. It just seems crazy to me. Like, so I don't believe that the philosophy is we don't want the game to be competitive. We want it to be super casual, super just like kitchen table kind of stuff. That is not shown or represented in any actions they've taken. They repeatedly put a strong hand on the wheel and try and drive the game where they want it. And so that doesn't make sense to me. Like, we're having they're fucking running 160 person tournaments they have like their grand challenger format, like all this other stuff. What fucking world are we living in where that's like non-competitive? Like they're trying to stir the competitive pot as hard as they can. What they do not want is you to play the game outside of the way they want you to. Like that's all that I'm getting from this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also,
and so if we go through and look at all of the stuff they're releasing, this is just showing that like they believe these kinds of cards are where the game should be right now, is the way I interpret this. So if we live in that world, like we need cards like This Is a Robbery, we need cards like Protege, we need cards like Sacrifice, we need cards like, Escort to Safety, well, not Escort to Safety, what's the name of it called? Fallback. It's like all the cards that are currently like playable are all like mission dependent cards for the most part.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seems like the game I started playing and played for many years is just gone at this point, and the only thing left to play is this new game that does not seem very interesting to me. Sorry, my dog is tired.
No, I agree. I have kind of switched to a mentality of I'm just going to play the things I find interesting. I'm not going to bring crunchy lists, and I don't take it as seriously, which is unfortunate because we got to go to like Adepticon for the first time this year, which is like a big tournament. So as a team group, we're going to Adepticon. Yes, like this is really exciting. Last year I think we traveled for 4 or 5 tournaments in our local like area, the Midwest area, and that was exciting. It was like we're excited to go and try and like do the thing elsewhere and try to be better players and really sit down and theory craft. Like our personal Discord chat used to just be constant, just like, hey, I had this list idea, cool, and we'd pick it apart. And this year it has been very like, okay, like,
yeah,
cool, everything's kind of the same, and we can do the things we want to do, but we've already done it all.
Yeah, it's like when you stop playing games with Randy's just so you can ensure you get a fun game.
Yeah, and it's like we don't have the urge to go travel or do things because the game has been, I don't want to say the game's been solved, but it's pretty close to it. And it's because of design choices that create scripts. And then even though my main thing, if I had to complain about one thing, is you don't sell me cards anymore. You haven't sold me a character card pack in years now. 2 or 3 years. I think this is my 3rd year playing the game. So clearly you just expect me to print to play. Cool. I'm actually super okay with that. Because,
but then just let me fucking print the cards.
But that means like just go ham with it. Just sit there and change things up. Do a patch, quote quote, every 4 months. Like the release schedule has slowed way down from when I started playing, which is understandable given the state of everything in the world. But like just do little tweaks, try new things. Cool. You fixed. I'm trying to look at someone. You fixed Enchantress, and now she's busted. Okay, go in, change the things on there, spend 5 minutes typing, and go, this is now the new card. Go print to play that.
Yeah, I think
it's so easy, and they don't do it, and there's just so much stuff that languishes with the pot, the soup is solidifying.
Yeah,
and
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. So I think that's easy to forget that they're managing a lot of different games, and there's only so many man hours in the day.
I agree.
And so I give them a lot of credit in the fact that they are busy people. And the last thing that they probably want to do on a Friday at like 7 p.m. when they finally just finished what they were working on is go look at Viper, right? And get her back in the meta. I get that, but that probably means they need to hire some fucking people. If you don't have the man hours to go through and like actually like work on your game, then that's a sign you need to delegate more of your responsibilities to people that you can hire.
Well, and people aren't always good about putting their lists in, but you can kind of go on Longshanks and see. You can see data.
I don't think they have a lot of interest in looking at Longshanks. I think the feedback they get is very skewed, is the problem. I think they pull their information from very specific sources, and they don't make a lot of effort to look outside that bubble. I think that's a lot of the problems that we get on the back end, is just like the information's not getting to them because they're not looking for it. I will say that I played War Machine for probably like 12 years, maybe 15 years, like a long time. Like we played this game for 5 years, and this seems like a short game for me. I don't like switching games. I really like sticking with one game for a long time, and I haven't been able to do that since War Machine kind of shit the bed. And the only reason I bring this up, I know we talk about War Machine a lot. I was really hoping Parker would be here because I wanted to bring this up today. There was a really, really bad trend in War Machine that there were the haves and the have-not factions. And that was eerily similar to the faction set people played. And so if you looked at a Venn diagram of the best factions in the game and the factions a specific person played, it was a circle, just one circle, and it circled the two factions that maybe, I don't know, Will Schick played. I don't know. And so I don't know if Will Schick just happens to play like X-Men and Avengers and Webs. Like, I don't know, maybe. But it certainly feels like the goal is to make one faction better than other factions, or like one archetype better than other archetypes. And that might be through a lot of thought and development as they see different problems that are being caused in the game. Like maybe they looked at it and said, hey, Thanos has been a problem, CGR has been a problem, Immortal Hulk's been a problem, Magneto's been a problem, like all these characters have been problems. Maybe we should just bump attrition down to B- and just let scenario game be the A game, and that way we don't have to worry about fixing a broken model in the future. Like maybe that was their thought process. I hope it wasn't, because that seems really bad, but I know this has turned into a big, shit on AMG fest, but that was not my goal.
Yes.
But I think it's either everyone I know wants to play the game in a really stupid way, or they're making the game less fun. And so one of the two is happening. So I think it's fair to speak your mind. That being said, like, I think that this game has brought a lot of joy to my life, so I hope that it continues to do so.
We made friends with everyone at the Geekery by going to play this game. I got my little brother into the first tabletop game, like I said.
So now you're just saying all the bad things it's done for you. So
yeah, exactly.
Clearly, these are all negatives. I tried to go with positives.
Yeah. But like, I don't know what it was this year, but like last year I was having so much fun with MCP. I had finally like gotten good enough that I could compete, and there was like exciting stuff, and I understood the game in a new way. And it was very, very fun. And this year, I have just felt lazy about it. Like, I think for all the TTS leagues, I was like, I'll just play whatever. I'll just throw something together and play. And I felt no need to push myself to compete. And I find that unfortunate, because I have a game that I get to play with friends and people I like. The models are fucking rad. The characters are cool, and I would like to be able to enjoy that at the level I did, and it's just become a design game philosophy problem that has made me not care about it as much. And I was kind of hoping, kind of like with you, like I've played a ton of tabletop games, but I've been looking for one that I'm like, cool, I'm still playing this in 10 to 15 years. And enjoying myself. And I'm going to keep playing Marvel. I like it. There's still stuff coming out. But until the new mission pack comes out or big changes, it will just continue to be, I just play the stuff I like, and I don't feel the need to push myself or compete. So.
In my experience, usually when you lose interest in playing competitive games, that's definitely a bad sign. But I think we are also in a lull in this. Like, there's been not a lot of release. Pretty much all of last year was waiting for CGR to get the bat, and then all of this year has been kind of just like figuring out what the game is now with the new mission pack. And then immediately we got like the new Shield release with Namor and all that, and Shang-Chi, and that just kind of fucked everything up. Ever since the new Defenders came out, really, it's just been kind of all over the place. And then I know you've said like they've been working on re-releasing other games like Legion and stuff like that. So
yeah, well,
maybe we'll get some more attention paid to MCP in the future. But it certainly feels like I don't have a strong idea of where the game is going, and I'm not super excited to find out. It just seems like every time we get news, it's news I don't like. All right, let's move into our mission segment for today. Positive news. This mission is great. Infinity Formula goes missing. This is one of the higher play rates secures with 9% play. Looks like it is the second highest play rate of all missions.
That sounds correct.
And I'm going to just leave it there as a positive note and not say the negative thing that would have followed it. All right. So Infinity Formula, the original mission, this was from the original core set. I don't think it has changed at all. One of the only missions that has never changed. Infinity Formula goes missing is you get an extra power for being on it. It's a B. I believe it's 17 points.
Yes.
I have to check because it's not on the page. Yes, it is 17. Just classic, solid, basic mission.
Yep. I really could not think of any complaints about this. I like Bs. It's only 4 points, but it's a tentative 4 because you have to have someone on there to score. So there's always the possibility of pushing or throwing someone off. I like that it has a very simple upside without giving me a text of stuff. There's no downside, and 17 is the most balanced points you could play, like threat level you could play in the game. I would argue maybe 18.
I have no comment on balanced. It is basic.
But it's basic. Like, you can make a solid list that does what you want to do. In most factions, if there needs to be an addendum, there's an addendum at 17. So, very much like it. When we get to the rating system again, where we rate all of them, I will be rating this one very high.
Okay, cool. Agreed. I like this mission. It's very solid. Nothing else really to say about it. I guess fun anecdote is I believe this original. I don't know if this is actually out there anywhere, but I got this from the devs at one of the conventions way early on when the game launched. Is the demo mission to learn the game on? You play the original core set. I think you switch one of the characters. Like I think it's Doc Ock plays for the Avengers, and I think it's Spider-Man plays for the Cabal. It's just for like a balance issue. But anyway, you play 17 points and you play cubes and Infinity Formula. And the point of that is to get as much power on the board as possible to let people use their superpowers as quickly as possible. It also speeds up the game because obviously cubes does damage to you. People having more power means they do more damaging attacks, and so it ends the game as quickly as possible. It also lets people experience the most like dynamic version of the game.
I guess also fun memory. I think this has only happened once, which is crazy because I have 100, maybe more Asgard games. But I had one Asgard game where I had this with cubes, and then Asgard, and I had like Thor. I think this was before the new box. Thor, Angela, and someone else all had a cube, and they like started a turn next to one of these, so I got 4 power, and that was so much fun, dude. I threw
just getting more power.
I threw every single piece of terrain besides the size 5 on that table, every single one, and I was like, "You can't stop me. I have the power. I'm gonna go do it." So
cool. All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it for us today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed and didn't hate us for ranting a bit. This has been Brandon
and Josh,
and you just listened to Protege.
So what are we going to call this thing? I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.